cards here, but I like both of these guys, and I like them for different reasons. And they're negatives on both ends. So let's talk about Josh Naylor for San Diego. The negative for Josh Naylor, there are a lot of mouths to feed in that San Diego Padre outfield. Okay? Agree? You got Myers. You got Franmil Reyes. You got, let's see, Frenchie Cordero, who is now on the IL. You've got Hunter Renfroe, and Renfroe had a great weekend in Toronto. He went 2 for 4 on Sunday after going 4 for 6 on Saturday. He's hit 14 home runs so far this year. So you got 3 outfielders there already in place in San Diego, and you call up Josh Naylor. Well, what do Reyes, Myers, and, what do all 3 have in common? They're all right-handed. Naylor, a 21-year-old left-hander with a lightning-quick bat. 10 home runs at AAA. Now, over the weekend, he only went 3 for 14. Okay? Rookie. But look where they batted him in the order. You usually take a rookie and you bat him, 9th, 8th, 7th, down there, right? Not Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor is batting 2nd in the Padre order. 2nd. Prime real estate. Who else do you know that bats 2nd in batting orders? Like Aaron Judge, like Mookie Betts, like Mike Trout. And here's Josh Naylor batting 2nd in the order for San Diego, coming out of the gate. Now, Mal Powell says, and I agree with you, Mal Powell, here's the downside. I don't know if he stays with them. Okay, I do know this. If he hits, Will Myers has done nothing this year. I mean, yeah, he got some hits this weekend, but it was like a softball game in Toronto. But Will Myers has been underperforming. And you say, well, then they don't have a center. They can put somebody in center field. If the bat hits, he's going to play. So I think what's going to be interesting, they play the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, a left-handed hitter's dream park. Let's see how Naylor does in this 3-game set against the Yankees. That may well determine his fate. Not saying you should go grab him right now. I did. I look at fantasy baseball as what is my best upside, okay? And there's a lot of upside with Josh Naylor. There's also a lot of upside with Kevin Cron. Now, if you take a look at Kevin Cron, and Mal Powell, I agree, the outfielders, the corners, they're crowded already. But, again, let's see what happens. Yeah, they got a lot of money tied up in Myers. I know that. But we also know by them calling up Fernando Tatis at the beginning of the season, San Diego wants to win now. Are they prepared for that? It's to be seen, right? But they want to win now, and if Naylor they want to see what Naylor can do. It's simple as that. And so let's see what Naylor can do. And let's talk about Kevin Cron. Kevin Cron led all minor leaguers with 21 home runs. Called up this weekend, called up Friday. I was really excited. I called my buddy Phil Chaplin. We're all about it, trying to make plans. Where do you add him in your team? All of this. And then Friday, he doesn't start. Well, Saturday he does start. And he knocks in 2 runs with a double. And I watched the game. And guys, this kid is massive. He is massive. Doesn't start yesterday. Pinch hits, strikes out. I watched. It was a breaking pitch, high in the zone. He got under it maybe 2 inches, but he had a massive swing. But he's 26 years old, and they brought him up, and I think they brought him up to play. And here's the kiss of death. Torey Lovello, the Arizona Diamondback manager, said, quote, that Christian Walker was, quote, still our first baseman, end of quote. Well, Christian Walker stinks, okay? He has not performed well at all over the last, 17 games. Andrea says Jacoby Jones, 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases last 2 weeks. I like Jacoby Jones. I liked him when he came up with the Pirates, Andrea. Detroit, what an opportunity. Opportunity, right? But getting back to Kevin Cron. Yeah, Phil Chaplin says his numbers in the minors make Alvarez look pedestrian. Love it, Chappie. But look, Christian Walker, over his last 17 games, including an 0 for 3 yesterday, folks, is 8 for 61. I'll do the math for you. I'll help you out. It's a 131 batting average. And over those 17 games, guess how many RBIs Christian Walker has? Okay, I'm going to give you just a minute. How many RBIs does Christian Walker have over his last 17 games? The answer is 2. Ironically, 2 is the same number of RBIs Kevin Cron had on Saturday. So Cron in one game has equaled the number of RBIs Christian Walker has had in the last 17. Okay, so Torey Lavello, you can say that Christian Walker is still your first baseman because that's political correctness. I'm not politically correct. I'm going to tell you guys, go get Kevin Cron because the time frame for Christian Walker being the starting first baseman in Arizona, the days are numbered. The days are numbered. I read what they're saying in the papers. I've read the articles. I've listened to the quotes. I've listened to the tone of voice. Walker is on a short leash, and Cron is there for a reason. So, just a quick look at those four: Biggio, Gurriel, Naylor, and Cron. I think what I did yesterday when I called Lenny and Andre is I said, can you rank those four? I had ranked them, and I had ranked Gurriel and Cron first, with Naylor behind that group. Okay? And Biggio fourth. And Andrea immediately said, go get Cron, go get Gurriel. I agree. I like Biggio. I don't think Biggio's going to have the power. His hit tool rating by Baseball America during the minor leagues was a 45, which is slightly below average. Now, he's going to get the opportunity to play, but I don't see Biggio as a big power stick. I see so much upside with Lourdes Gurriel and Kevin Cron. And if you're into upside, then those are two guys that you need to take a good look at. All right, let's move along. How about some players that are established? You know, not so much, a couple of hitters that I want to talk about briefly, and one on the down and one on the up. Okay? How about Brandon Lau for Tampa? Brandon Lau, if you look at the statistics for the season, okay, and in looking at these statistics, I'm going to just call them out to you. He's hitting .281, 28 runs scored, 11 homers, 30 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Yet he's only owned in a 41% of ESPN leagues. Why? Because he strikes out too doggone much. Right? Okay? But he had a really good April. In May, he has 10 extra base hits, 5 doubles, and 5 homers. So I think what you can expect from Brandon Lau, I think you can expect the average to go down somewhat, but I think you can expect the power numbers and extra base hit ability to remain the same. He looks really good. Now, he doesn't hit too well against lefties. Look for him to sit some against left-handers. And that's the downside. Some upside is the power. He's got more home runs and leads the team in RBIs. So keep your eye on Brandon Lau. And then there's one more player I want to talk about before we talk about some pitchers. And, you know, you look at the beginning of the year, you look at the Red Sox, and they were struggling, right? I mean, they really were. Coming out of the gate, you name it, if they had a player on the team, they were not performing up to their abilities. But then there was one, of course, who did, one who is now.
How much fun it is to watch Rafael Devers when he comes up to bat, you know, with the deep breathing and closing his eyes and talking to himself. And then there's the swing, a high fly to center field. Marisnik back at the track, leaping, and it is gone. A home run. Devers with number 7. Well, he was denied last night because of the roof, but not here today. And the Red Sox jump in front 2-1. The kid is cooking.
He is cooking. Rafael Devers is absolutely cooking. And I'm going to take Devers. Here you go. Let's go out on a limb. let's get some feedback on this one. I like Devers as well as I like any third baseman in Major League Baseball right now. You name it. You named a guy in Washington. I don't care. Devers, in his last 5 games, is 10 for 22. And that home run, courtesy of YouTube, was none other than off the ace of the Houston Astros staff, Justin Verlander, yesterday. It didn't chop liver here, guys. His last 5, 10 for 22. Okay. I'll do the math for you. 10 for 22. That's 455 average. And over that 5-game span, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and an extra base hit in 6 straight games. Wow. 6 straight games, an extra base hit for Rafael Devers. So, again, tell me a third baseman that you like better than Devers. Andrea says, watch out for Lau. Look, Lau is a great player. I'm just concerned about his strikeout rate, and I'm concerned about him sitting against left-handers. Other than that, he could very well lead the team in home runs and RBIs this year. Don't you agree? And Chaplin says over Cron and Gurriel. Chappie, tell me. Chappie has rated these guys. We've talked about it on the phone. Chappie has got a man crush on Josh Naylor. So and Chappie does his homework. So I'm going back to that one. Yeah. Andrea says, watch out for Lau, 37% K rate. And that's his thing. He strikes out a lot. But when he makes contact, he's extra base hit guy. All right. So let's see how he does. But anyway, Devers and Lau, 2 young guys, established somewhat. Lau played last year. Devers has played for 2 years before. Devers seems to be coming into his own. I love me some Rafael Devers. Now, I want to turn to the corner and talk about some pitchers. And I want to talk about Andrew Heaney first. And Lenny mentioned him at 9 o'clock. Heaney coming off injury. Last season for the Anaheim Angels, Heaney had a 9-10 one-loss record. He had 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, and he pitched 180 innings. Injured. He came back yesterday. Here's his stat line. First game, 5 innings pitched, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. And I watched the game. His fastball is sneaky fast. I mean, it's like it leaves his hand sort of like if you remember John Tudor back in the 80s. It leaves his hand almost like John Tudor's throwing a changeup, and it comes in on you at like 95 miles an hour. And the batters were totally off balance yesterday against Andrew Heaney. Heaney's next start is on Friday against the Seattle Mariners, and that just breeds 4 strikeouts. I'm really looking forward to seeing how long he goes in his next outing and how he performs against the Seattle Mariners, because Heaney, to me, is a guy worth adding if he's available in your leagues. Now, he may not be, but he looked really good yesterday. I watched him. I watched his delivery. The ball just eases out of his hands, and he was in total control yesterday. And then there's Brandon Woodruff.
Through 5 innings, has not allowed a hit. Line shot, base hit, right field. Thames is going to be waved around. Going from first to third is Orlando Arcia. It's a multi-hit game for Brandon Woodruff as he drives in another run. 7-0 Brewers. Strike 3 looking, and no problem with that one for McCutcheon. And there it is again. Another fastball. A swing and a miss, and Woodruff strikes out Harper and Hoskins. 8 punch-outs. Brandon Woodruff have a day. Struck him out swinging. High fastball at 96. That one about letter high. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. And his best fastball of the game at 98 miles an hour. Strikeout number 10. And they come to their feet at Miller Park.
They came to their feet for Miller Park because Woodruff looked like Babe Ruth yesterday. I mean, come on. 8 innings pitched, only 1 hit, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run, no walks. I mean, close to a perfect game, but for the 1 hit, okay? And batting, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Woodruff has really turned it on. He's turned the corner. He's a reliever last year. They converted him to a starter. He had some bumps in the road to start the season, but he has had a win in each of his last 6 decisions, okay? And now he goes to play Pittsburgh on Saturday. Gosh, I tell you what, how about here in a hand here for Brandon Woodruff and what he's done and doing in Milwaukee for the